G'day guys, welcome back. Another Forest Ponds episode. We're back in the Onkaparinga catchment today. This is going to be either episode 4 or episode 5, depending on how I edit what I've already filmed. We're in Scott Creek Conservation Park today. This one might be a little bit of a bush bash. I think this one's off trail, this pond. So we're going to see how we go with it. I don't think it's a big walk. But yeah, I'm going to have to put you down so that I can check the map and see which direction I've got to go. So yeah, I'll come back to you in a minute. We've got our bearings. We can take the track along the road here for a little bit and then cut into our right. The pond is basically straight down there. We've got like a ridge line here where the main road kind of goes along, and then a ridge line that goes that way with the other track, and the pond is down in between the two. So we're going to see how we go. I'm hoping the bush isn't too impenetrable. I'm fishing spin gear today. A 1 to 3 kilo rod and a 1000 spin reel. I have a little hard body on at the moment because I have been trout fishing this morning with no luck. It's a pretty hostile sort of area for hopping fences and such, so I was restricted to fishing just road crossings, and yeah, spooked one fish but didn't get any. I don't think this particular part of the journey is going to be overly interesting, so I'm going to put you down for a bit and I'll bring you in if I see anything of interest. Alright, this is going to suck because I basically have to go that way. I don't want to go any more up the hill there. I've just come from here. The most direct route is straight into the bush there, but that looks damn near impenetrable. Although I'm hoping it's just a couple metre strip of this wattle. Might be able to bypass it over here. I might try and keep you with me, and I'll speed this process up in editing. Much as I can anyway. I'm going to have to check the map to make sure I'm going in the right direction. Alright, enough for it. This would be substantially easier without a 7-foot fishing rod, but alright, I'm going to have to put you down because this is real heavy sort of bush. I'm going to check the map and I might come back to you when we're somewhere near the pond. First small win, we've made it to the gully. It's hard to see. There's a little gully here. That's what I was looking for on the main track up there, but couldn't see it for all this wattle stuff. But this should go straight down to the creek now. Looking at the map, I've got maybe 120, 150 metres. Hopefully I can just kind of skirt the edge of it here and get in there fairly easy. See how we go. Properly in the thick of it now, but I am have discovered that actually going straight down the gully is the best option. It was just a bit thick up on the... so yeah, we're going straight down this little chute. Lots of mushrooms and stuff around the place. Right. Unfortunately, there is a lot of blackberry in here too, which is kind of nasty stuff. It's got some pretty wicked thorns on it, which isn't nice to get in your skin or in your clothes. It's not super thick. It's not as bad as it is in some places in Scott Creek, but just an extra obstacle I was hoping not to have to deal with. It's not usually too much of a problem outside of main waterways here, where it normally blankets the banks. All right. Oops. All right. We're getting thick again, so I'm going to put you down, bring you back in a little bit further down the hill. Righty. We got through that. I had to jump out of the gully because it got a bit steep to walk around in. We've got our first look at the pond down here. It's one of these blackwater ones by the looks. Probably can't actually see it on the camera. This stuff actually isn't too bad to kind of push through if I didn't have the fishing rod. I'm going to sort of point the fishing rod up to the sky, get it above your head. Alright, pond's down here, so we'll have a first proper look at it together. It's not very big, but I feel like it's got a fair bit of depth to it. I very much doubt this actually has fish in it, but I wanted to check it anyway. Get down here on the dam wall. There has to be an old track in here somewhere because it's not a natural dam, it's a man-made dam. So it had to be dug at one point in time. Excuse the camera angle here for a moment. We're down. It's a pretty nice looking little pond actually. Alrighty. First look, here we go. There's quite a lot of weed in it. Alrighty. So yeah, very, very small pond. Guess I'll ping a few casts around and see if anything shows up. Okay, so the pondweed in the dam is Potamogeton ocreatus. It's got like a single stem with pairs of leaves that come off either side. Long, thin, blunt tip. I think Potamogeton ocreatus is called blunt pondweed. See if I can zoom in on some in the water. There's a bit of glare going on there, so it's hard to see, but it has a habit of forming fairly substantial mats. As I say, I haven't seen any fish life. There's a lot of like aquatic beetles. Not seeing bait fish or anything like that though. Stuck on a tree. Obviously frogs, can hear plenty of them. But yeah, I'll wander around for a bit. I'll give it a solid half hour here, I reckon. It's quite late in the afternoon. I do have to get back out of here again. But yeah, I'll give it half an hour or so. I've got some bait with me, so I'll put some worms out under a float at some point and yeah, just see if we can get anything out. Alright, so just going to run a simple bait rig. Got worms, size 10 hook, suspended by a small waggler float. Just got a string of shot down the line. There's nothing complicated here. I'm not a coarse fisherman, but basically just want to get a bait out there and perhaps just above the weed. I am seeing stacks and stacks of tadpoles in the water. I'm not sure that the camera's going to pick them up. But there is lots of tadpoles. The camera's not really picking them up. And that's a fair indication that there's not really, in particular, any redfin in here. They're quite a predatory fish, and I've never really encountered heaps of tadpoles where there's any redfin in any sort of population. But yeah, we'll give this float a go for a little bit, and I'll enjoy the birds and the frogs. Then we'll call it quits. I have just filmed the outro for this video, but just come across some interesting stuff that I figured I'd throw in at the end here for the guys who are not so much into the fishing side of things, more into the orchid content and just general nature content. So we are in May at the moment. It's quite early in your normal orchid season and late for the early flowering orchids. I'd say it's also early for like carnivorous plants as well, but got a few of those starting to pop up. So this is going to be like a Drosera whitakeri. I think that's what is still ranged out here. There was a few more back down here by the pond actually. I had just started walking out. Bear with me. Come back down here. Where were they? Maybe down around here. Oh, now I'm not seeing them again. So we have got some orchid leaves coming up. I'm not sure what it's going to be. Probably a Caladinia or something like that. Where have those Drosera gone? Over here. See ya. Lots of these guys coming up already here. A little earlier than I potentially might have expected them to. Some of the other little ones here popping up. I did see one that was already up and rambling away. The climbing sundew. But I've lost sight of it again now. But I was just making my way up here. And I was taking a photo of the pink flower over here, which I think is a type of heath. striking pink flowers. But yeah, I was just squatting down here looking at that, and I've seen a patch of Aerocalyx, which are the bunny orchids. We saw some at Ferries McDonald in an earlier short this year. But yeah, they've finished flowering because they're early flower, obviously. So you got just the seed pod left on top there. And then the leaves on these guys actually come up after they've flowered. So one there, another couple there, another one up here, another one there. So it would have been quite a nice little colony in here. I haven't seen them out at this park before, so that's pretty cool. Another record for iNaturalist. Anyway, yeah, I'll slip this in before the outro. Cool to see. I'm going to keep an eye out for any other orchids on the way out. It's pretty much just Achianthus facilis flowering at the moment. There's not a whole lot else to look for. Another tiny Aerocalyx leaf down there. They are very small. It's my pointer finger there for scale. But yeah, awesome to come across those. And I got to make my way back through this scrub up the hill. Alrighty, so I'm going to call that quits at this one. As I say, I'm pretty confident there's no fish in this one whatsoever. Lots of tadpoles. Got the pondweed, the blunt pondweed in there, which is something we haven't actually seen at any of the other ponds yet. Substantial aquatic vegetation. I'm pretty sure we also have a milfoil here growing immersed, so a Myriophyllum. But I'm not great with it. I'm pretty sure this stuff here is a milfoil. I can't see any growing under the water to confirm, but it is below the higher water line on the dam here, so I suspect that's what it is. When it's under the water, it's got a very feathery type appearance to it. Yeah, lovely little spot, tough walk in. Yeah, while I've still got some daylight, I've got maybe a couple of hours, maybe an hour or so of daylight left, and while it's not raining, I might try and get some fish down the creek where I know there's some fish. So yeah, alright, thanks for watching again, and we'll see you in the next one.